Hey, what's going on? Back here again with another episode of Craving Some Raven. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking Eric Weddle and the subsequent release that I was made aware of. I filmed my last episode and then on top of a mountain and then came down and found out that Eric Weddle was released. So I kind of put some extra information at the end of the episode. But, I haven't really been able to record until just now, and so by the time it gets released, who knows? Maybe I'll just set it to release the next day. So I guess like March 6th it would be, but maybe I'll just straight up release it. Now I'm just gonna do like initial thoughts and everything, what it means. So apparently the Ravens have decided to release him. I don't know if it's official yet. I just know that's what's been said online throughout the universe. That Eric Weddle is not going to be a Raven next year. I don't know if he has a market because he is older and his production did dip, but I think someone is going to pick him up. I don't think he's going to have as much success as he did with the Ravens because, I think his speed, it just wasn't there, but his ability to understand an offense was there. And within our defense, maybe going to a new defense, that'll change because he's not as familiar with it. But he is a professional, and I think he can do it. But that being said, apparently this releasing him saves about $7 million towards the cap. My hope is that they did this so that they can use that money for C.J. Mosley. That's kind of the hope here. But his Eric Weddle, he was a huge part of the defense. It's like the quarterback of the defense. Telling everybody where to go in coverage or what to look for because he was, because he has such great experience. As a veteran, as someone who's seen a lot of football from that position. Just seeing a lot, and so he can really identify different route coverages and what to look for, and like tell the guys, hey, get in their spot. But all of our corners, they're all professionals. They should have it by now. They don't need Eric Weddle, and his production just wasn't really there. So many times I saw him, like this past year, like missing tackles and looking like a fool. Honestly, just looking like a fool. Like your smarts can only take you so far when you're out on the field and you look like, what is this guy even doing here? Like he's not making the tackle, he's not making the play. Like it just seemed like it just wasn't working out for him. And I think that it's just part of what Eric DeCosta is doing. He did say he wants to keep young players and be smart with the cap. And this is just one of those moves, whether I agree with it or not. I liked Eric Weddle, and I wish we kept him just one more year. Let him play out his contract, So at least if we decided to draft, now we're definitely drafting a safety in this draft. But, at least, like, if Eric Weddle was still there, there'd be another year where he could kind of mentor this guy. I liked what I saw from Deshaun Elliott, and I think Chuck Clark has surprised me with how good he's played when he's been in there. Just a solid guy. And then we still have Anthony Levine, who is a quality player, and Tony Jefferson. So our safety room is pretty good. So looking at it now, he was more expendable than I previously thought. And I think Deshaun Elliott, he's going to come on and he's going to be the starting safety. I think like not Anthony Levine. It's going to be either Deshaun Elliott or a rookie, possibly. I just really liked what I saw from Deshaun Elliott. He doesn't wow you with anything he does. He's just another one of those dudes, kind of like what Eric Weddle was coming out of college. Just a guy who's ultra instinctive and just around the ball, where the ball finds him, Like, how did he get so many turnovers? Like, I don't know, the ball just finds him, man. He's just one of those guys. Like the Magic Man, that was his whole thing coming out of the draft. He's got his dance where he does the hands, like, it's like half jazz hands, kind of. But, so, it's a bummer because he is kind of a team leader, veteran presence. But, Eric DeCosta, he's doing what he talked about, staying young and being smart with the cap. And this is the exact type of stuff you want to see if you want to see Eric Weddle stick to his guns, stick to what he made out to do, apparently. And, it could be just like the new GM thing, just kind of blow everything up, it is what it is. That means, next year is probably not going to be a great year for the Ravens. Just kind of blow everything up, get rid of everybody. It's not that he hated what Ozzie Newsome did, but he wants his mark to be felt. Like he wants, like, hey, this is my team now. This is all Eric DeCosta. So we're going to get all these veterans out, and I always hated how the Ravens just kept picking up veterans. There's a reason they were cut. They could fit your scheme better, possibly, but we just started picking up too many. The Ravens still lead the league in like compensatory picks, like overall since it's been a thing. But, in recent years, we just haven't been sticking to that formula. Draft a bunch of guys and hopefully sign like the top 2 or 3 each year to long-term deals. And then everybody else, let them walk. Let them get huge deals elsewhere. And that way the next season we get a compensatory pick, excuse me. But, that's kind of hard to stick to because it's not an instant trade, When someone leaves, it takes a whole year before you get that free pick, basically. So what it's designed for is, you draft somebody in the 6th round who ends up being a quality starter, and then you just let them walk and get a big payday somewhere else. And so you basically turn that 6th round pick into a 3rd round pick, ideally, or a 4th round pick, so it's like 2 spots, but it's like 5 years down the line. And I think the signing of Eric Weddle, he was the first safety that we signed because apparently we were just unable to draft a safety. We just had trouble. And he was the first guy that we brought on. I'm pretty sure he was before Tony Jefferson, but because we kept trying to shore up that position by drafting free agents, or not drafting, but signing free agents. And he was the first one that actually worked out and went well for us. And then we got Tony Jefferson, and he's working out for us, I believe. And so hopefully, since those guys worked out, we drafted Chuck Clark. He's nicer than I thought he was. I didn't think he was going to be any good. I thought he was just some guy, But he ended up playing pretty decently, especially when he had to fill in for Tony Jefferson. Played pretty well. And then I really like Anthony Levine. Whenever he's out there, he's always making plays. He's super underrated on the team. I think he's like one of the Ravens' most underrated players. And then also Deshaun Elliott. And I really liked what I saw from him. Just like I said before, just one of those guys who the ball just finds him. Now I'm really hoping the Ravens draft a safety. So when I do my second mock draft, definitely all of these moves will... free agency is going to play a huge part, Yeah, like when you're talking, who are the Ravens going to draft? It's like, well, it depends on free agency. What happens? Who stays? Who goes? But all in all, I really liked him. I liked his ice cream bit that he did. After every win, I'm going to eat some ice cream. And it's like, ooh, what is he doing now? Look at that ice cream, huh? I always thought his ice cream looked kind of disgusting. I don't eat a lot of sweets. That's how I stay so skinny. But the way he did it, he's just mixed all sorts of different flavors that just looked like, oh, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing putting that on your ice cream? Get the fuck out of here. That being said, hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave. I don't know, one of those things. I was on the fence. Now that it's happened, I'm gonna look at the positives that come with it. We save money, so that gives us an opportunity to hopefully sign more young players. Not someone who's in their 30s. But we'll soon find out in these next upcoming days what they decide to do with that saved money. So, with that being said, that's going to do it for this episode on Eric Weddle. I'm probably just going to release this one straight out. So with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, go fuck yourself, do all that shit, if you want. If not, then whatever, man. Just whatever. You're going to listen to it and not support? Wow, cool. Yeah, like, cause I literally looked up on like the iTunes like podcast app, and I literally searched Baltimore Ravens, and mine doesn't show up. Like, and there's no way to go to like another page. I just want to get on that page because I'm a Baltimore Ravens specific podcast. So why am I not on that list? It's literally called Craving Some Raven because I got a fever, and the only prescription is more Ravens, baby. Why am I not on that list? It's bullshit. So I don't know how anybody discovered this. I'm getting downloads. I'm almost at 100, baby. So that's like 10 an episode basically at this point. But whatever. So please, if you listen, please rate it, give it some stars, comment on it, like it, do anything, please. Because I want to get like an actual, real, legit sponsor. Also, if you really like the show, you can donate to my Patreon or sign up for my Patreon. Patreon at CSR Pod. It's spelled CSRPOD. Also, if you want to talk to me, get in touch, you got some advice or you have a suggestion, questions, comments, concerns, all that jazz. You can send me an email at csrpod@gmail.com. Spelled CSRPOD@gmail.com. Also got a Venmo if you want to donate as well. If you're not cool with Patreon, if you're not cool with monthly subscription, you just want a one-time donate $1, then hit me up on Venmo at CSRPod. Spelled at CSRPOD. Trying to keep it all uniform, Don't have any social media, so it's a little inconvenient to send an email. But you're going to have to do that. So with that being said, that's going to do it. Have a good time. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Or do drugs and don't stay in school. Just do what you want, man. Be happy. I don't care. No one really does. You just can't be a detriment to society, So listen to some Craven, some Raven. And be a great, upstanding citizen. And be a good member of this society. By listening to my podcast? Yes, I'm just going to go with that. Yes, thank you, and have a good day. Or technically, night for me right now. Bye-bye now.